Hello everybody, I'm Dan here from the Hammer Game Channel and welcome back to TNO, the last days of Europe, and to my Aryan Brotherhood playthrough. So last episode we kind of finished off, we finished off two of the routes. We've got probably the, well, not the most boring, but it is in terms of events. We don't have much reading to do, so we're just going to be sitting kind of getting through all this stuff now. In fact, if not much happens, I might actually just skip through and we'll just read them, possibly. We can just do that now, actually, and I can skip forward. Still the batch recordings, of course. This is the last one that will be getting batch recorded. So hopefully the last one where I'll have this terrible, terrible cold. Also, might hear some crinkling, because I got some Haribo's. Can't be recording a video, well, a snack. So, anyways. Okay, Madagascar Civil War, so we're getting close to Hitler kicking about it. I mean, Mr. H. It'll be October. Anyways, we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna go for the autonomous raiders, because I feel like this is gonna be more beneficial to us than the planning one. So, when the High Command impaired me think the officers and brothers in the frontiers know better when it comes to raiding. Know where the most valuable parts of the border lay and how to exploit weaknesses in the enemy's attention. With independence and a minimum of control, these battalions becoming as effective as they are chaotic, attacking with orders from the headquarters, unpredictable in temperament and restraint. Instead of investing power into a general staff, we can instead give the informal practice of unprecedented operational freedom an official stamp. These battalions become autonomous, free to raid the countryside as they please. Tear through the lines of Russia and you, spreading terror without mercy or exemption. Now that the dogs of war are unleashed, and the Untermensch shall learn to fear us again. The frontier units of the Brotherhood are now free to do in their designated regions as they see fit. Encouraged by this newfound freedom, our independent battalions have struck out against our inferiors, stripping them of resources and people alike. As the night raids intensify, the Brotherhood's enemies continue to grow weaker and weaker, unable to deal with the unpredictability and randomness of the attacks. We can utilize this. By dividing regions into smaller chunks and assigning more units, we can increase the rate of raiding to the point of suffocation on the enemy's part. The sheer quantity and rapidity, oh my gosh, of the offences will deprive them of the ability to recover. We shall hound them from dusk until dawn, hitting them without pause until they are too weak to respond. The equipment and weapons that we wrestle away from the Untermensch will help us secure the final triumph. I do apologise once again for my nose blowing. Under the shadow of the German plains, we have you again. There we go. Oh, excuse me. This one's getting a wee bit longer. Yeah, we will not back down. Wow, their divisions are useless. King Farouk is dead. Excuse me again. Right. Under the shadow of the German plains, we have reformed our force to reach the heights they attained. Well, that was easy. Now the Brotherhood looks at its men with pride, for no army of Aryans. Oh, okay. I guess I have to read. In a culture where weakness means death, and every member of the elite is constantly on the lookout for ways to put each other down and elevate themselves, people are prone to gossiping. Perm was a spider web of intrigue. I don't know what that is. I can't believe that. Members of the Aryan class constantly sharing choice pieces of potentially damaging information in exchange for favours and support. No one fascinated and frustrated Perm's network of informants more than a figure by the name of Siegfried Schultz. Who was this man? What brought him here? How was he climbing the ranks so quickly? While conspiracies were as natural is heir to the Aryans. Each had its own theory. I'm telling you, he's a foreign agent. Abwehr or CIA or something. Why else would he come out here of the blue? One would say to his fellows. Another would riposte. That's a crock of shit. I think he's related to the Fuhrer. It's complete nepotism. A third silent now would chip in, shocking his brethren. I've met him, you know. The man's a political visionary. He would run this place someday. Mark my words. A hurricane of attention and speculation seemed to follow Schultz everywhere he went, and it only grew in magnitude as he continued his ascendancy through the Aryan Brotherhood's power structure. Even the Fuhrer took notice. Whoever this outsider was, he certainly had charisma. Could this be something to take advantage of? Or was it best to hold Schultz down before he rose too far? Every man needs to learn his place, even Schultz is no exception. A promotion is in order. Maybe Schultz might take over from Gutrin here. Anyways, we're reading this. Now Brotherhood looks at its men with pride, for no army of Aryans more exemplary and capable has ever tread the lands of Russia in triumph. Examples of the Germans have aided as well, and the strength of the blood has carried us this far. The time is right for the test of our power and a trial that will redeem the worth of our bonds. We look to our neighbours. To the south lay Bashkiria, where its pretensions to independence and self-determination. Our kin pine of liberation from the Untermish, and the blood wishes to heed their call. To the north lay... Really? Now you're coming again? Are they not going to learn their lesson? Yeah, we got another city factory from building there. Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we will not back down so easily. Right. We haven't finished reading this. Time is right to test our power. A trial that will... Oh yeah, sorry. To the north lay Bizarniki, which were wells of oil, resources and motorized planes, wait for their use in the hands of the brave Aryan. Whatever we choose, we must prepare. The brothers will clean their guns, train and rest for failure. For failures, and this is not an option. Your divisions are weak, boy. Yes. You think you can outclass me? Not a chance, boy. Not a chance. I could do with maybe some weekly stability. Oh, some wars breaking out. Yeah, we'll do that for 75 days, get some weekly stability. Omsk is in a wee war there. But yes, Tomsk is beginning their expansion. And I am going to scavenge for loot. Right. I think I'm going to terrorize them. Ever since the end of the West Russian War and the collapse of the central authority in the region, Bashkiria declared itself independent, state that bases itself on a notion of self-determination. They sustain this illusion by suppressing the cries, more war, and cries of help from our kin, even as they suffer under the yoke, unable to fulfill their destiny set by their birth. The Bashkirs have deluded themselves into thinking that they can rule over the blood. It's time that we make them pay for their insolence. Rather than Berezniki, we shall focus our efforts against the Bashkirs. Their village, towns, and even cities will be made to pay the price of their delusion and cruelty. We'll tear them down and rob them of everything they have. As the blood demands vengeance and the race demands justice, so shall we deliver. Our kin shall once again be free. Then we've got liberate the Aryans. The cowardly Bashkirs are in full retreat and their forces shattered and fleeing. After we bested them in battle, their armies have retreated deeper into Bashkiria to defend the lands of their people. In doing so, they have abandoned the regions that lay at our borders. Village and towns filled to the brimming with our kin. With no obstacles in the way, we can proceed to accomplish the original objective of our incursion into Bashkiria. We shall go into Bashkiria again, but this time we are not there to destroy, but to recover. We shall cover the border of our kin and select from the worthy, whoever is worthy of joining us. We shall transport them by the truckload into Perm and into the bosom of the Brotherhood. where they may not be ever lost again. Our brethren must relish in joining us, and together we march ever forward towards our destinies. And towards new pastures, the Brotherhood has triumphed. Fate alone has affirmed its ideals. It has succeeded in trial that it had set for itself, with the Intermish defeated and their hosts shattered and dissipated to the winds. Brotherhood now stands on its feet, not merely admiring the bombers as they pass it by, but reaching out, imagining itself on a flight with their kin. The day will come, even as it is far away, for the blood does not lie. For now, however, the Brotherhood looks past its borders and its immediate surroundings. Russia is vast, its size and in its size lays opportunities. We strike out, carving a bloody path through it, stealing. Go away. Stealing and looting whatever we can get our hands on. The road is attaining equal merit to our German brothers is long, and Untermensch would assail us every step on the way. However, like the Germans, we will triumph against the odds. Can't be horribles. And then cleansing Russia. We are the Aryan Brotherhood, strong, committed, and above all pure. For a long time we have allowed our nation to be trampled upon. No longer. It is time for us to rise to the occasion and forge ourselves a nation of pure, strong, and independent people to secure a position among the most honoured Aryans there are. Prepare the rite of ascension. Prepare our home. Our march on Russia, sorry, not prepare our home. Start that one. We must begin our march on Russia and demonstrate to the warlords and Soviet alike the superiority of our blood and our ways. It is time that we cleanse our nation by force if necessary, to show our strength and bring it kicking and screaming into the Aryan century. Nice. So yeah, I was just having a wee look at the information about our leader, and apparently he used to be called Alexei Alexandrovich Dobrovolsky. But then changed it to a more Aryan name, Guthrum Wagner. You can read more about him there. Eggs. I love the eggs. The Haribos. The Haribo eggs are the best. I can remember when I was little, I used to eat the yellow bit first. Then just leave the white bit there. Just have a pile of white stuff. That sounds bad out of context. Yeah, I just had a pile of white stuff. I should have maybe put them in a dish or something, because you're just going to hear the crinkling of... There's only one bloody egg? Seriously? Oh, I'm trying to feed the floor now. Alright, 2 more focuses to go. Oh, we're going to finish them in time for the Civil War here. Nice. I must have been wrong. They must have had so much more to do. Oh well. We see what happens here. Yep, the mercenaries. So they're doing their last focus now. So they'll start the Civil War when we do cleanse in Russia. We have tons of political power. That's improving industrial expertise and industrial investments. Can do it in our research slot. No, Kemerovo is doing alright. Look, do you know what? For the sake of the rest of the video, let me just tip all these out into my mouse pad. There we go. There we go. Apologies. There will be no more crinkling. Alright, cleanse Russia. Let's go. Bloody gummy bears everywhere. We could do that, or we could, I'll put that way oven. Would actually be more beneficial. Oh, it'd be more beneficial doing that. Let's do it. Oh, more war breaking out. The Siberian Black Army has a task ahead of them. Could have more divisions than them, so... Wait, what? What happened to the mandate, boys? Okay. Cool. Yeah, we've done all we can. Do we have to wait until a certain someone disappears? Which should be happening any minute now. It should really be happening any minute now. Oh well, I'll just enjoy the rest of my harbos. Oh, look at that beautiful nation. Whoa! Priscilla Buchanan? I've never seen you before. Wow. Okay. And there he goes. Mr. H has bit the dust. At least I see her. So right now the Unionist parties are both here. Right, they're both here. Which will make things interesting. No, if my game crashes. Don't press anything, dude. Don't press anything. There we go. So wartime. Yep, that is underway. So cue civil wars everywhere. Nice, put some more civilian factories there. Chaos in Ausland. The bombing stopped. Right, we don't care about this. We care about the bombing stopping. Right. For a long time, life in a very large portion of Russia has been defined by German terror bombing campaign. An entire generation of Russians have grown up in the blasted ruins, always watching the skies and ready to run to cover the moment dark figures of the bombers themselves are spotted. An entire generation of government, whatever the ideology, has struggled with establishing infrastructure on an industrial base of any kind, and what little is built is often promptly destroyed. But not anymore. Millions of Russians have not had to make desperate runs to safety for days. Repairs to civilian military infrastructure has progressed, and not even destroyed in turn. New constructions still stand, and a realization has dawned. The bombers have stopped. To those with access to information from the outside, it is believed that the civil chaos from engulfing the hated Reich, and its colonial extensions in the Reichskommissariats, has rendered it impossible for their aerial efforts to continue. To those without, it is believed by many to be a gift from God. Even as ordinary Russians celebrate with something approaching delirium. However, others speak of dark clouds on the horizon, the many Russian statelets no longer suffering paralysis at the bombs of the Germans. And now free to look outwards. Only time will tell how they choose to proceed. And yeah, here we go. Conquest without end. These all take 7 days by the looks of things, so let's get through these. For the past week or so, the German bombers are nowhere to be seen. Our Aryan brethren had deserted the skies, presumably to concentrate on their own affairs. The situation in Germany must be dire enough that the Fuhrer has judged it appropriate to withdraw from the skies of Russia and let the Untermesh bloom again. Our nights and days are now silent, with a crash of shrapnel or the screams of alarms. As the only Aryan enclave in Russia, we cannot let the situation go out of hand. As the Untermensch themselves prepare to reclaim Russia for their ends, so must the Brotherhood grow and challenge them. In the absence of the fear that the Germans bring, we must step up to restore order and stem the tide of the Untermensch that surround us. We shall stand and fight like never before, for we have never been truly alone with the Germans in the skies. Okay. Did Brittany just join in? It did. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, now or never. Or do we want to go down here first? Do we have to do all of it? Yeah, we have to do all of it anyways. For the past week and days, the bombers that lurk over Russian skies have disappeared. Führer, far away in the heartlands of Germany, has recalled them for his purposes. Rumours of a civil war travel further east, carried by fearful whispers of prisoners and trainers alike. The Untermensch, in the absence of the benevolent Aryan overlords, will no doubt stand our presence for longer. From their holes in the ground, they will crawl out, ready to challenge the Aryan rule over these lands again. It's now or never. Before our enemies can rise against us, we must stand. The time for frivolous raids and mindless carnage is fading fast and sure. Survival is no longer enough for the Brotherhood. It must now stem the tide of the Untermensch and without doubt or delay climb the masses of Russia to rule over it. It must expand and subjugate. If it does not, it will perish. Oh. Holy crap, we have factories available to build. It's a miracle! Build some cities, please. Hey, hey, hey. Wars are breaking out and we are loving life. Right, can everything like stop, please? Oh yes, obviously. Oh, excuse me. Say Gatka. And I should. Sorry, I need to see where this is. Oh. And Ashinsky. Oh, here. Okay. I should have guessed that from the name of this one. To the south of Permly, the land of Bashkiria, a national state proclaimed in the aftermath of the West Russian War. Though we had the opportunity to play with our prey before the bombing stopped, now is no longer a game. The Brotherhood needs to expand and Bashkiria seems to be the prime state for such endeavours. The factories can churn out guns for the Brotherhood's armies, and their people can provide the necessary labour to ensure steady and uninterrupted supply of weaponry. However, before moving in Bashkiria proper, the Brotherhood will prepare itself. We will redirect our raids against them, wounding them with 1,000 cuts before the time comes to finish them off. At the same time, a new secret police, the Gestapo, will infiltrate the territories of Bashkiria and look out for secrets and weaknesses. Before we are even through with them, they will break and they will beg for the end to come soon. Wow. We are wasting no time. The Serbs have risen up. The Serbs have risen up. Wars, wars, and more wars. There's the South African War. Okay, reports from our own Gestapo, from our Gestapo, sorry. Our Gestapo, short for whatever the hell that is, has been introduced into great use of the Brotherhood. Not all that crave to fight for us wish to do so in broad daylight, nor do we want to attack without preparation or prior intelligence. Making their way from the shadows of Perms, the villages and small towns of Bashkiria, spinning a web of deceit and misinformation there, as well as gathering information for an eventual attack. Together with this new information, the ranks of the Brotherhood armies must now account for information gleaned by them to be more efficient. The Untermenschen in Bashkiria, although weakened compared to Aryans, an advantage over the Brotherhood in numbers. The flow of new knowledge which will ensure that the armies of the Brotherhood can remain undefeated in battle, for the blood demands that the final victory is paid at any cost. Let's scavenge from loot, why the hell not? Okay, more wars are breaking out. Right, so our troops are actually over here ready. So we're just gonna get these guys, like, without much of a fight. Exploit the cracks. Because there's our border war, so we're gonna get some land from them, possibly. Okay. Contacts among the Russians. The Republic of Bashkiria, despite its name, is a hastily cobbled together nation held together by a fragile alliance of Russians and Bashkirs, intertwined by the mutual need for safety and defence. A seemingly liberal state that upholds the rights of minorities, it has to balance itself between the many interests of its ethnic constituents. Though Russians and Bashkirs are untermensch, the Brotherhood has found the blood to be on the side of the former. Before an attack on Bashkiria itself can occur, we need to widen the cracks that emerge between them. Though not many will join the Brotherhood willingly, there are Russians from whom can extract loyalty towards the Bashkir state. These will spread ethnic unrest among the Russians and Bashkirs, fracturing the political landscape of the Republic. Divided and weakened, there won't be any state to retaliate against Brotherhood, like lambs to the slaughter. So we're contacts among the Russians. Revitalized industry. Take from the unworthy. Yes, just take them all. With divisions sown and their weaknesses known, the Republic of Bashkiria, for all their numerical advantages against us, now lay at the mercy of the Brotherhood. Bickering plagues their legislatures, and unrest foments in the smallest villages, paralysing their political capabilities. All the while, our Gestapo is doing their work in the shadows, feeding the Brotherhood with information regarding the Republic's weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Bashkiria has never been more prime target for the Brotherhood. It's time for the Brotherhood to pounce on its chosen prey. For the first time since the end of the bombings, the armies of the Brotherhood will not march in the name of looting or raiding alone, but war. We will destroy them and claim the prize that lay within their lands for ourselves. The Brotherhood shall not doubt itself at this critical hour. We shall crush the Untermensch and trod them under our feet. Yes. Yes, we will. And they only have 3 divisions, so yep, kill them. Right, ever onwards. While the cruel, degenerate Slavs around us will wish only to crawl into the marked, grotesque conditions their race is so accustomed to, it is us Aryans who strive to see a future where the higher races of this fractured continent rule over a subservient, lower class of Slavic Untermensch. The future, while inevitable, will not happen without our iron will, the catalyst of its creation, and the strong and enlightening guidance of our pure-blooded ruler. Gudrun Wagner, the Aryan race will finally bring order to the jungle of chaos that is Russland. The Slavs have proved time and time again their inability to manage themselves in a civilized manner. It is further proved by the Bolshevism and weak-minded nationalism that plagues the disunited states today. Our masterful race of Aryans must prove our supremacy through our conquest and domination of these inferior peoples. Okay, and hopefully we'll win in here. I'm sure that'll actually give us this piece of land. Hopefully we'll win before these guys can get there. We have. The glorious city of permanent Aryan inhabitants were engulfed in joy and celebration as our brave warriors returned home from battle from the Bashkir whelps, full of stories of glory and plunder. The Bashkirs expected fell into their furious onslaught, or turned tail like the cowards they were and slunk back into their caves. A glorious battle is cause for celebration enough, but more than this, we're now in possession of a sliver of their land, as it should be, as the Führer has proclaimed. Once our mission is done, all the future Reich is to become living space for the Brotherhood. So, do we have a decision to deal with the rest of them? Or do we have to wait? It would appear we have to wait. Right. Let's just leave that episode there. I think that's a good place to leave it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall be back very soon for another episode. So until next time, take care, cheer bye, the now.